Alright guys, counter-punch boxing. Now look, we're going to read the actual court documents. Canelo suing Golden Boy and DAZN. But look, I found something really interesting in the court documents. Apparently Canelo was going to have his next fight on top of a skyscraper in 2020. That is correct. Let me just read this one little article. They're talking about, because of COVID, the parties discussed holding boxing matches at venues that would be impossible with fans such as tops of skyscrapers. Wow. I mean, what is going on over there at Golden Boy? What is going on, right? This is just getting nuts. Crazy. Now, here it is, right here. The actual court documents. Now, by the way, I'm allowed to show you this. Number one, number two. Let me do three little bullet points. Number one, I can show you this legally, okay? Number two, I'm having issues with the audio. If you hear crackling, whatever, I apologize. Number three, I'm going to give you bullet points of the court document, and then I'll kind of give you my take at the end, okay? But we're going to go over articles number 20, 33, number 50, 54, and number 34. Now, who else on YouTube does this kind of research, this type of investigation? No one. And look, guys, I'm telling you, I bring you guys the real deal. I'm not going to be biased here. You guys know I have many issues with Canelo, but I'm going to try to be as fair as possible. Now, number one, this is why it got thrown out. Because they filed it against the wrong people. Right here to DAZN North America. You can read this, Golden Boy Promotions, because basically when you're going into this type of a court situation, you have to call and name the individual. Whoever owns the company, whatever, you have to say where they're located, their corporate, where they operate from, where is their home base, their corporate, and Canelo's lawyers failed to do that. Now, look at what they're suing them for. Look at this, guys. This is crazy. Excuse me. Breach of contract. 1, 2, 3. There's like 3 or 4 breaches of contract. Intentional interference with contract. Neglect. Okay. Number 8. Fraud. Right? I mean, this is crazy. Demand for jury trial. Now, they're in the court document. They talk about Gennady Golovkin. Okay. They talk about Canelo's money. They talk about fighting on skyscrapers. They talk about DAZN and the issues with Oscar De La Hoya. So I'll leave a link below if you guys want to go through this. But you can see right here, okay? It's 2 of 24 pages. So I believe it's 24 pages. But we're going to go over just a few bullet points. We're going to start with number 20. Okay, number 20. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, hang on, just bear with me, guys, bear with me. Okay, now, as far as, people, arguing with me, about does Canelo have the power in who he fights, as far as matchmaking. Well, let's see, plaintiffs do not know true, I apologize, let me back up. This is why it got thrown out. Sorry, guys, I'm off tonight. Okay, plaintiffs do not know the true names and capacities of defendants sued, and as does 1 through 25, who therefore sues and defendants under their fictitious names. Okay, basically, that's why it got thrown out. But let me skip forward as far as Canelo. It's number 33, Canelo being in charge and picking his opponent. And to be fair, it's a train wreck, okay? Whoever put these contracts together, they need to be fired. Okay, other than Mr. Fielding, Canelo Alvarez did not require Alvarez to box any specific opponent. Instead, it specified that Alvarez opponents be mutually selected by Alvarez Golden Boy Promotions, subject to Alvarez final approval. Okay, now I said that in a couple videos ago. People were arguing with me saying, no, Canelo has no say. He's a fighter. It's all he. No. Canelo, he can handpick who he chooses to fight, who he wants to fight. Okay, it says it right here in the court documents and the contract, final approval. But to be fair, it goes on to say, not to be unreasonably withheld. Notably, the Alvarez contract did not mention that DAZN would have any right to accept or reject any opponent selected by Alvarez. So basically, you have, like I said, let me break it down. You got 2 contracts, one between Canelo and Golden Boy, another contract between Golden Boy and DAZN. Now, the Canelo Golden Boy contract, okay, it says, something completely different than the other contract. Now, my criticism there is, why didn't Canelo's lawyers read over this? Why didn't Canelo read? If you have a $300 million contract, don't you think you would read it? Now, I don't feel bad for any. Look, there is right and wrong with all parties involved here. Okay, so let's continue. So let's go to number. Where are we at here? We're at number 33. Let me jump to number 34, which is Gennady Golovkin. Okay. The Alvarez contract carved out specific potential opponents, including former, which I say current, world middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin, as required as guaranteed payment for no less than $35 million to be separately negotiated between Alvarez and Golden Boy Promotion. So when they talk about there was legal language in the contract, to fight Gennady Golovkin, well, here's proof. There was, okay? But then Canelo says, well, I have final say. Although Golden Boy, basically Oscar De La Hoya promised DAZN that trilogy, and you can't tell me that Canelo was not aware of that, right? Now Canelo is coming back and tried to retroactively say, oh, well, I had no idea you wanted me to fight a trilogy. It's not in my contract. I mean, like I said, there's just, all of these guys are just slime bags, okay? They're grimy sleazeballs, all these people involved. So I don't feel bad for any of them. Anyway, let's continue. The skyscraper thing, that kills me. Let me go to 54. Now, this is where DAZN was, offering Canelo money and basically trying to bribe him, I think. Or what? Not bribe, we'll call it negotiate. Trying to negotiate. All right, let's get to, there's 49, 51. What does that say right there? Hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Number 50. Okay, now check this out. Actually, let me go back to that. Sorry, guys. This is so confusing. Okay, number 54. Okay, after extended discussions between the parties, DAZN offered to pay Alvarez and Golden Boy Promotion a fraction of the contracted $40 million license fee in cash, right? In cash, and some DAZN stock in advance of a potential IPO. However, the entire value of the package for a bout against another world champion was substantially less than Alvarez, than his contract said. So basically, DAZN came. Now, this is where I kind of defend Canelo, I guess, in a way. DAZN came to Canelo and said, look, I'll give you $30 million. I know I owe you $40 million, but I'm going to give you $30 million, plus I'm going to give you stock in DAZN, and then we can pay you that $10 million after we make some money on the fight. Now, I don't think that's too unreasonable, do you? I mean, considering what's going on, you look at guys like Loma willing to take a pay cut, Pacquiao willing, in this whole McGregor thing, willing to take a pay cut. Do you think that's unreasonable for DAZN to say, I know I owe you $40 million, can I give you 30 now, and we're going to give you stocks to hold on to that are worth more than 10 million, and then we'll pay you what we owe you later, or you can even keep the stocks and make more money. If I owe you $40 and I say, look, I'm going to give you $30, but hold on to my watch. My watch is worth $100, but I only owe you $10. So just hold on to that watch, and I'll give you that $10 next week, when I get paid. I mean, that's basically what they're doing, okay? And Canelo said, no, that's not good enough, But they go on to say in the court documents here that, look, we don't have a live gate. We don't have, sponsors. We don't have merchandise. We don't have, food and drinks and parking and all the other ways they make money. I mean, these big venues make millions in one night, a ton of money. So it's crazy. Let's go to number 50. The whole skyscraper thing, they're going to fight on a skyscraper. When I read that, I was like, what? Okay, right here. Okay, in or about May 2020 and continuing thereafter, the parties resumed their discussions regarding plans for Alvarez 2020 bouts. The parties discussed holding boxing matches at venues that would be impossible with fans, such as the top of skyscrapers. Like I said, what is going on right here? Number 5. Okay, Article 50, number 5, top of skyscrapers. What is going on? What are these people thinking? I mean, it's crazy. Now, let me go down, or close your eyes, guys. This might make you a little bit dizzy. Here's the final say, okay? This is what Canelo is asking for. Compensatory damages according to proof, including but not limited to the denied guaranteed payments, lost gate revenue. Well, how do you obtain lost gate revenue when there isn't a gate? But whatever, okay? And opportunities for ancillary revenue associated with bouts, such as sponsorships and apparel revenue of no less, right here, than $280 million, okay, for punitive damages, for attorney fees, cost of suit, for judicial determination, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, this was actually thrown out. So now they're going back to court. I believe, I think maybe today. It's either today or tomorrow. So we should have an update, and I'll bring you guys the newest court documents as soon as I get them, because like I said, all of this crap here was basically thrown out. Let me get back up top here, and I'll give you my quick breakdown. I don't want to make it too long. But basically, like I said, you have two contracts, one between Canelo and Golden Boy, then Golden Boy and DAZN. And I'm not buying it. I don't believe that Canelo didn't understand what was in both contracts. That would be highly, highly just irresponsible and just willfully ignorant. Now, you can't tell me Canelo hired a team of attorneys and accountants and lawyers to overlook these contracts, and they were unaware of something as big as a Gennady Golovkin trilogy, right? Or who's the shot caller? Who's the matchmaker? You can't tell me that's an oversight on Canelo's part. So I don't know, guys. I'll probably leave it at that. Now, what I'll do is I'll leave a link of these court documents in the box below if you guys want to check them out, read them, whatever. So, but I mean, that's pretty much everything. It's more like a bio for Canelo. It talks about his boxing career and all of that. Now, it also does state how he was paid more money for the Rocky Fielding fight, and it also mentions how DAZN is unhappy with the Kovalev fight, the Rocky Fielding fight. They're paying him top dollar, for basically premium fights. We're talking championship premium fights. Now, the whole thing, and I'm going to make a separate video on this WBC issue, and let me end it with that. Canelo saying basically, he was ordered, by the WBC, to fight Yildirim, which is complete bullshit, okay? Number one, he's the franchise champion, so therefore he can't be ordered to fight anyone, unless, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, number two, the president of the WBC came out, Mauricio Sullivan, and said, no, we didn't order him to do it. What are you talking about? So anyway, we're going to break that down, but I don't know, guys, what do you think about this? I mean, it's a complete just nightmare. And by the way, if Canelo wins this lawsuit, it will completely ruin DAZN. It will shut them down. They'll go out of business, and